Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. Thank you for coming back, and if you are new, hello, I'm Shahna and this is my YouTube channel. So this video is going to be basically get to know me a little bit more, a Q&A kind of video. Although I don't want to be a YouTuber, I'm not doing it to get loads of subscribers necessarily or anything like that. I'm not doing it for sponsorships, etc. But I do think, because I am doing a kind of dance movement psychotherapist in training diaries, I still think it's quite nice for you to get to know me, whereas my social medias don't really show that. Even my personal one, you only see me when I'm out or anything. I mean, I've got no makeup on, I've got a big friction burn on my head from dancing at the weekend. It's not all glamour, and yeah, I just thought this would be good for you guys to get to know me if you want to. This video, no one has to watch it, but I've just figured if I'm posting in the future and it's more of a serious video, which most of them in relation to my training will be, you can still see this side of me if you want to, if you go searching for them after watching a more serious one, if that's the one that you originally clicked onto this YouTube channel for. So now we've got that out of the way, welcome back. And yes, if you want to find out a little bit more about me, then please do keep watching. Alright guys, so yes, I kind of addressed it in that intro section. I have no makeup on. I was going to have makeup on, and then I washed my makeup brushes yesterday, and I also thought, why would I put makeup on just to film this? Like, I'm trying to show a real side, because I strongly believe that so many people that have, this is going off the topic of the video, but anyone that has insecurities and they want to make changes to either the face, the body, whether it is a cosmetic procedure or just training intense at the gym or eating in a strict calorie deficit or anything like that, I do believe that sometimes people wouldn't be influenced to do it if they wasn't so hooked on social media, and if they realise that it's not the whole of everybody's life, it's just pretty much the highlights. There are some that I follow as well, and I try to be one of those people as well, that show when I'm having a skin flare up, show when I'm looking tired, when I'm not feeling myself, anything like that. So I stopped myself and I didn't put any makeup on, even though this wanted me to. No, I wanted to because of this, but it happens. It goes to show that, because I have got asked this question, so I'll just answer it now actually, and then I won't put it in where it was going to be. But I basically get asked a few times, and I've been asked on here today. They basically asked if being a dancer or dancing in training, any sort of dancing, is it as glamorous as it's made out to be? Now, I didn't realise it was actually made out to be too glamorous. Like, I know, like I say, shows and everything, yes, it is very glamorous, and the costumes, like some of the amazing talent that goes into making those costumes, designing them to really fit the pieces, like, it's an amazing job that I would never be able to do. But it is amazing. It's so nice when you're wearing one as well, especially if it's different to what you've worn before. But no, so when I was younger, when I was a little girl and I was just training as a hobby, my mum basically got me into dancing to keep me off of the streets, keep me out of trouble, because she was a very protective mum and she didn't want anything to happen to me. So yeah, so I have her to thank really, and my nonna and granddad too. But yes, so I was just dancing as a hobby, but I was doing competitions within that hobby. Training, just going from school to dancing, no makeup, no cares in the world. For shows and competitions, wore full face of makeup, like a ridiculous amount. It was freestyle competitions, and it was still pretty much freestyle makeup for the shows, which was yearly. So we didn't, but it was like all or nothing because it was quite a lot of makeup when we did wear makeup. And we did have a comp at least like every month when I was younger, and then it eventually got to like pretty much every weekend. Then when I went to college, same thing again. I only wore it for shows or anything that was like filming for projects or anything. I didn't really wear it for training because you just sweat it all off. When I went to university, same thing. In the first year, I did make more of an effort just for training. Some things like commercial, any assessments or anything like that, or if I just wasn't feeling myself and I needed a bit of a confidence boost, like obviously you're staring in the mirror all of the time. I would wear it quite a lot in the first year of uni, but same again, not as much as you'd probably think. Second and third year, I didn't really care. It wasn't because I was confident within myself. It probably was the complete opposite, but I just was lazy. And also I think I started to break out a little bit from sweating so much, stressing a lot, probably not having the best sleep either at that point, eating crap. So I just didn't have any energy or cares really. I had cares, but I didn't do anything about them. Which one day I will go into my whole journey from, well, probably in the next video actually I'll start doing like a story time just so you can kind of understand most of my journey. I will leave some things out that I'm not ready to talk about. But anyway, this is a Q&A. So that was kind of one question answered. Oh my God. I am so tired, guys. I'm running off of like barely any sleep. But just to clarify as well, because I am actually not striving to be a YouTuber or anything like that, it's just so you can personally get to know me. If you want to, you don't have to, you can just watch the videos that are going to help you. But I know some people like to get to know the person that they are being educated by or investing time into watching videos and whatnot, or just taking advice from in that sense. So I didn't put a questions box on Instagram like I almost did, because one, no one knows that I'm even doing this yet. I'm kind of getting all these videos out of the way, and then when I actually get the videos out that are going to be more beneficial to anyone that's watching, more within my like training and how I'm learning, my vulnerable moments as well and my achievements. But yeah, if I'm doing like a video, for example, on rejection and how to deal with it, that's when I will share, and then the viewer that views that can take it to their own sort of own action to go onto my page if they want to and watch more like this one to get to know me, but they don't have to. That's where the logic in this video is, and the ones going forward up until I start training. And maybe if people like them, I might carry on doing them, but it's not going to be a priority. This isn't even going to be a consistent channel. It's not, like I say, it's not to grow a following as such. I don't just want any follower. I want someone that will want to learn from me and that I can help, really. Just from the videos, no sales or anything like that. So yes, I basically asked some of my friends that and family that I've not seen in a while, whether that's due to lockdown, whether we've just been so busy. I used to work abroad, some others moved away, some abroad, some just on the other side of the country. So I've asked them to ask me some questions, just what they would ask me, whether it's because they know something that I've not shared, or whether it's just because they genuinely would ask me that if we had a catch up at the weekend and went for a coffee or a few drinks or anything. And then there's not a lot, so depending on how long this video takes, which it's probably going to be a while actually, because I've non-stop spoken and I've only answered one question, which wasn't even going to be the first question, so we may not. But if we've got time, if it's not taking too long, then I've got some from Google as well, which I can just answer quick fire if we need a bit more time. I'm not going to make this a super long video, but I do want it to be worth watching if you're clicking onto it. I don't want to just answer like 2 questions and then be like, okay, bye, thanks. Hope you got to know me. All right, so first official question, because that glam question was kind of one, but we'll ignore that now. So like I've just basically said, it's to do with YouTube. So why did I start YouTube? So the reason I would say I started YouTube is, well, if you didn't know, which I will talk about when I eventually talk about my journey and do story times within that, which I'm thinking of doing anyway. In my third year of university, I was going through a little bit of a roller coaster. I wouldn't say it's a dark time. I'd come from a dark space. Third year of university, I had more excitement about myself. I was optimistic about the future, but I was also putting a lot of pressure on myself about the close future and the far future too. So, but in my third year, so in that year, I was kind of picking myself up. I knew that I wanted to help people as well as still perform and whatnot. So I, as a side project, which was towards my university degree, I basically did my own fitness page, which is now one of my businesses today. Well, it is my business, it's my baby. And I did a little bit of YouTube then, which is this same channel. I cannot talk today, guys, I'm so sorry. It's still this same channel, but some videos got deleted, some are just private listed for me to watch. Some are still up, but not a lot. And when I got my first contract abroad, I did want to carry that on, but I just didn't have enough time. Wi-Fi was shocking, so I stopped. And then life just got in the way, and I never planned on getting back to this YouTube channel. I just kept it up to keep it up, for memories and stuff. And now I'm going to do a master's degree. I have plans for the future. I do want to bring something out that once I'm fully qualified, I know will help so many people, especially, I'm going to do it separate, I think. I'm going to do one for dancers, one for dance teachers and agencies, and then maybe a generalised one in the far future, but mainly focusing on dancers. So something will be coming out, I'm putting it out there, in about 2 to 3 years that are going to help. It's going to be helpful to schools, like to dance schools, to stage schools, to universities. It's just going to help every performer with every aspect of the performing industry, the demands of the performing industry. So yeah, this is basically just to kind of get people to see me, see how I deal with the next few years as well, because it's going to be intense for me, this course is. I'm going to have to go through therapy myself, and if I'm honest, I thought I healed from a lot of things, but lockdown made me realise that I didn't, whether that's relationships ending, whether that's just things happening when I was younger, and if anything, I think lockdown's made it all worse. Not the getting over it, but just the dealing with the now, which I'll go into detail possibly, I don't know, when I'm going through the therapy sessions and stuff, so you can kind of see how I come out of the other side. I know that it's not going to completely, you're better, you can go out and don't have to worry about how you're getting home and whatnot. It's not like that, but they do give you the tools to deal with when that trauma is being triggered, which since lockdown and being back out and trying to be social, one thing especially, but even some other things that aren't as big as that, I do feel like it's got worse again. So everything's happening at the right time, because I'm going to learn how to help myself, but I'm also going to learn and be trained and a registered dance movement psychotherapist in the near future to help people with their traumas, their triggers, their confidence and everything like that. But also because I am quite creative, I'm not dancing as much as I used to, but I have started to do a bit more with Chica Bonita Entertainment, which I used to before lockdown anyway. So yeah, I suppose it brings out a bit of a creative side, but I'm not going to put my blood, sweat and tears into these videos. You'll probably notice the editing isn't going to be very good. It's not high quality. I'm filming off on my phone. But the thing is, I'm not doing it to be a YouTuber. I keep saying it, but that's the thing. I'm not paying loads of money and investing loads of time into it, because I do have other priorities. But this is just just something fun for me to do, another way for me to feel like I'm helping people. And if people stumble across it and it helps them, then that's just going to make me even happier. But if they stumble across it and they think it's rubbish quality, I'm not watching it, they obviously wasn't meant to watch it, and they can get their help, reassurance and anything like that from elsewhere, because there will be other places for people. But this is just for people that maybe haven't found that safe place yet, that safe environment to listen to or be around. So yeah, that is basically why I started YouTube. Not for sponsorships or anything like that, just for people to get to know me, and so I can kind of document my journey of training to become a dance movement psychotherapist, my whole journey through therapy, and then also something will be coming out in the future, and it can just prove to people before they purchase, one, the journey within that, because I will document the process, but also it will help them to see that I've not just put my name on something. Like, I have actually educated myself on it. I've gone off of my sort of past, but I've also gone off of other people's past, and I've worked with a few other selected people that have knowledge on this particular thing. I'm trying not to let anything out because it's way early days. So that is that question answered. What do you do work-wise? Have you always done it? Okay, so I'm a full-time personal trainer. I teach a few gym classes, and then, like I've just previously mentioned, I do also do side gigs. So that's just part-time work. It's not every weekend, but like, for example, last Friday and Saturday I was dancing in Knots, which again isn't that far from me, shaking and shimmying and doing a bit of Latino. So yeah, it's basically, I'm a personal trainer. I do online coaching as well. I do online classes. I do in-gym classes. And then I just dance on the side when I have time and when it fits the entertainment company, because there's that many dancers. She tries to make it fair as well. So have I always been that? No, I haven't. So my first ever job, I was actually... Oh, I forgot about one actually. So I worked at the Stags football ground in a kiosk. It wasn't a weekly job. It was only every time Stags played, I think. But yeah, I worked in the kiosk and I would sell people their booker pies and their coffees and their alcoholic beverages. And yeah, it was just a start-off job that my mum's friend, because his daughter was working there, he basically rang my mum and asked if I needed something because they're looking for people. So I got involved with that. I did it for probably about 6 months, but the thing is, it wasn't consistent, and it was quite good when you think about it, because if like I had a dance competition, let's say, they would they always message you to ask you if you was free, and then if I had a dance competition, I'd just say no, and they wouldn't kick up a fuss about it. So it was quite good in that sense. And it was like, it was quiet, it had its dead moments, and then it had its moments where obviously in the breaks it was raiding in, but you had a few people. There was like 3 of us per kiosk, and there was loads of other kiosks as well, like scattered around the stadium. So it wasn't bad, it was quite good. I made some friends from it as well. And then I worked at, I'm not going to say the place just in case I shouldn't, but I worked at this like restaurant that was like, it was so nostalgic. It was a restaurant that we went to as a family every Saturday night, most of the time. Had a play area, like I loved it, but working there, it wasn't always the like staff's fault. So the staff wasn't very nice because I was very dumb. So it was my fault for having no common sense on certain foods and just the system of how it worked. And yeah, I didn't have knowledge, I didn't have common sense. I cared too much about what people thought, and then people clicked onto that, and then they would kind of get in my head even more. I knew that they spoke about me, and if I'm honest, I knew that they was gonna end up firing me anyway because I was no good. So I quit within a month. That's when I just started college as well, so I was really busy. College was like, I want to say 9 till 5, but you did get the weekend off and you did get 1 day a week off, which I think we ended up having the Friday off, so it worked out quite well. So yeah, obviously like Monday to Thursday I couldn't work anyway, so that was another excuse for them to be able to get rid of me. But also I just knew it was going to be coming because I wasn't doing amazing at that job, so I quit before they could fire me. So yeah, and now it's completely changed anyway. It's a different name. It's probably got some same staff as well, but yeah, so that was my second job. My third job was B&M, which I'd say that was my first, my first proper job. So it was my third job, but it was my first proper job. So I worked there for about a year and a half before I went to university, and then I left to go to university. Then during university, I had some dance jobs that I was lucky enough to be able to do on the side of university. Like it would have been a weekend or something. So it was nothing to do with the university, but from connections from the university, I got involved in some of the work, which was amazing. So like Bollywood TV, just shows around there really. And then what else did I do? So for the last 2 years of university, I stayed for a couple of weeks into the summer because I ended up working at Ascot. So I was just a queue manager, and I literally walked around with a walkie-talkie, and if someone says this queue needs to be handled because it's going out of the lines and it's breaking up like pathways and fire exits and whatnot, I'd just walk up and be like, guys, can we just go in? Can you like just hutch in a little bit, single file line kind of thing, which sometimes no one listened to me because they was obviously drunk, but I did my job and it was quite good pay and it was a lovely experience. I'd never been to like a ladies' day, any kind of races, so I worked there quite a bit. But they have asked me a few times to go back in the summers, especially for the Ascot. But because I live now up north, it's just not worth it because the money that I would be getting paid would probably go on travel pretty much. But they did really look after you. It was really nice and I'm glad that I did it. It was out of my comfort zone at first, but I'm so glad that I did it. Then other jobs, I've just done a load of dancing, performing abroad, a few like TV sort of screenings. What else have I done? I've performed on just some stages, which is like short little short shows really, like tribute shows. But yeah, one of the times when I performed abroad, I ended up coming back early, which again, that'll probably be in my journey sort of video. And then after I came back, I went back to B&M for 2 weeks and it had just changed. The staff wasn't there. I felt like there was a woman there that hated me and I don't know why she hated me. I think it's because everyone loved me that used to work with me that was still there. But obviously things had changed and I got like automatically put onto a higher role, which I felt the pressure of then, and no one knew that I wasn't wanting to do it forever, I think, which also I got in my own head then. So I ended up working for Sports Direct. Then I ended up teaching dance at dance schools and in primary schools as well. Then I ended up doing personal training and working for this entertainment company. And I've worked for other entertainment companies too, whether that was more like a bit of acting, bit of dancing, bit of just like standing there looking pretty as well. So it's been a mixture. But yeah, people don't always know, because I don't always talk about it, like the sort of retail that I've done, the failed waitressing that I did, and just working at Stags and even like Ascot and things like that. Like people just assume that I've only danced or done personal training and that. So yeah, that might be some interesting things for you. I'm going to have to wrap up this or pause it very soon because I've got a client in 10 minutes. Let me try and answer one more quickly. would you travel abroad again and work? Do you miss full-time dancing? So yeah, so the reason I think this like friend asked me this question is because I think the last time we met up I was saying I've been getting asked to go now and work at Mexico, and another one in Texas, and I was tempted to, but I felt bad on my clients because I would have had to just leave England, obviously. So I was tempted to, and didn't know what to do, and I was going back and forth with what should I do? Am I going to regret not going? Am I going to feel like a bad person for leaving my clients? Because obviously they've invested in me to be a personal trainer for them and help them achieve their goals. So I think that's why she's asked me this. So basically, I definitely would travel abroad again for work. Now that I am set on what I want to do though, career-wise, so be a dance movement psychotherapist, I don't think I'd go for a long contract. Like I couldn't, unless I went next summer from when university finishes to when it restarts, then yes, I probably would do that. I'd take the chance to do that, which isn't a bad idea actually, so we'll see. But not really long term again. One, it's so tiring. Two, I just feel like I'm at the age where I need to start thinking about settling down, moving out, which moving out I never usually used to think that you had to focus on like your credit score and all this lot, which is hard to do when you're traveling abroad and you're working abroad. So that's what I've been trying to do now, because I feel like I'm behind everyone else my age, because I have probably the worst credit score ever, just due to paying everything off annually, thinking that that was a good thing. Anyway, that's another story for another day. But if there was like 2 weeks, this is like talking into the future now, so when I've finished my university and I've passed all of that, if there was contracts to do like just 2 weeks worth, then I probably would, depending on priorities at the time. Obviously if I couldn't take time off of work, then I obviously wouldn't jeopardize that. But if it was like even in, again, the summer, say I have more time off in the summer, I would definitely take that opportunity 100%. Do I miss full-time dancing? I do. I miss the discipline. I miss being, it's weird, I hate being shouted at, especially when I know that I've not done anything wrong, like action wise. But I do miss like doing an exercise and a teacher saying you can jump higher, or you can get that leg higher, or do you know what I mean? I miss having that element of being pushed and challenged, because I knew that that was benefiting me, that was helping me grow, and they was just telling me that to make me a better dancer. So yeah, if I actually could, especially if I could stay how I am now, because I'm a completely different person and I was going through a lot of stuff back in uni, I would go and do another term at uni. I don't know whether I could handle another year, but I would definitely go and do another term at uni for dancing, for my degree. Obviously, I'm going to uni for a different sort of thing now. So yeah, I do really miss it. But I do love what I'm doing now. I love being a personal trainer. The thing is, I always thought, I'm going to be a performer, and then when I've done being a performer, I'm going to be a personal trainer. I'm going to get a certain amount of clients. I'm going to be comfortable. I'm going to know and have confidence in what I'm doing is right and what I'm teaching and everything like that. But I've got to that point. I'm happy and I want more. And I never thought I'd be like that. I never thought I could be thinking I can help people more and I can push myself more, so I need to do more. So I've invested in loads of courses. I'm currently doing a nutrition course. I'm obviously going on to do my master's degree. And hopefully once I've done this, I can settle and be like, right, I'm helping people enough, because I don't know what else I could do after. I want to be at that point where I'm just happy. I'm not overthinking about work or anything like that, or wanting more. So fingers crossed that's where this leads me to. Is it hard being self-employed? This is going to be my last question. Depending on how long the video is, I might come back after my client and just answer some quick fire Google ones, but this is the last one a friend has asked me. So again, I think she's seen the struggles and the benefits that I've had. So I love being self-employed because you're in charge of your own hours and everything like that. But it's hard when you're a people pleaser, because I will say, okay, I've told myself recently, after 9 o'clock, I'm not answering any other messages. It can wait till the next day, but it never happens. I will answer it straight away. I'll leave a notification unread if I see it. And I'm always got my phone next to me, so my phone's my alarm. So I need to sort that out, really. Also, I will basically say, I want to have the clients back to back, so I'm not going back, forth, but it's so hard, because if you want to get that certain amount of clients in every week, which to be consistent, and they need to be consistent to achieve their goals, they have to be doing it every week. And if they can only get in at a certain time of the week, I've got to try and be there for them. And if I know I can, but it just means going back forward, it's what I have to do. So another reason why I've kind of just jumped to do this dance movement psychotherapy course, because I just feel like that's going to be an all day thing, rather than like scattered everywhere. And I'm hopefully going to be able to switch off at weekends and stuff. So there's pros and cons. It is tough. There's so many benefits, but if you're a people pleaser like me, you've just got to set boundaries quickly, straight away. I set boundaries, and then I'm been a bit lenient, and I feel like I can't bring the boundaries back. Same with even when you go with a bit of an employer, set boundaries. And this is another thing that I'm hoping, well, I know, I have confidence in, that this course will actually help me with. It will help me learn how to set boundaries myself, but also help other people set boundaries. So I'm so excited for this next chapter of my life. I'm going to quickly, I'm going to train a client now online, and I will either come back and just wrap up the video, or I will answer a few quick fire Google questions. So get your cup of teas ready. Okay guys, so that is going to wrap up my video today. I was going to answer a few more just from Google, what I found, but if you'd like a part 2, then let me know. But I do feel like I gave you some, I don't know if I answered it fully properly, but hopefully I did, and I feel like you kind of got to know me a little bit more. And along with any other videos that I do, especially the less serious ones, or just the about me more ones, you will get to know me a little bit more, a little bit better if you do want to. But like I say, this channel's not really about that, but I do think it sometimes helps. And yes, sorry if the last few seemed a bit rushed. I was just in a race with time. I didn't realise when I started videoing, 1, how long it was going to take, and 2, how close it was for me to have my online client, which I've just had just now before ending this clip. So I apologise if it did seem quite rushed towards the end, if I was talking quicker or anything. Also, my storage kept getting full, so that's another reason why I was trying to answer quickly. But yes, I hope this has been somewhat useful, whether it's just to get to know me, or even just to think, if you was thinking about being self-employed and you're quite a people pleaser, it doesn't necessarily mean don't go and try and do it. But it just means set those boundaries early on and stick to them. Stick to your boundaries, know your value. There will be more on topic of this to come, so definitely subscribe if you want more help with rejection, handling failed relationships, body confidence, self-esteem, triggers, traumas. Obviously on this channel it's going to be more generalized, or even just more about me and how I'm overcoming things, or how I have overcame things, or how I would do it again. Obviously when I'm working one-on-one or in groups, during training, which I don't think I'll be able to fully talk about on here, because obviously it's very confidential. But I can kind of just talk about what I've learned, not necessarily about situations. So yes, if you like this video, please like it. There might be a part 2. I don't think I'm going to do it very consistently within even trying to get to know me. The next few videos I think are going to be a story time about just my journey up until now, because it's quite interesting how things link, and also me looking back, it just shows how much people grow, and I'm a much more better but different person in a good way. I've still got friends from the past, and it's not like a, oh my god, you've changed. It's just a, oh, well done, you're actually thinking of yourself kind of thing, which I know a lot of people struggle with. So yes, any questions or anything, pop them below. Message me on my Instagrams or anything if you want to follow me on them. They will be down below too. And then, yeah, other than that, subscribe if you want to follow along with the journey and learn anything that I've just spoken about, along with other things too. And yeah, I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.